Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel here. Hey, I found kind of a unique place to fly today. This is in Class C airspace, so I'll show you on the map right now. I'm at a little park called Mystic Cove Park in Garden City, Idaho. So I had to get Lance approval to take off here, but it's a 400-foot zone, so it's just literally right on the edge of the Gowan Field Class C airspace. And in fact, most of the flight will be outside of that airspace in Class G airspace, but in any case, we went ahead and got Lance approval, and it's a nice day today. You know, UAV forecast is showing some wind, but I'm not feeling much at all. So we have the DJI Mini 2, and you're gonna see this cute little park that I'm at. It's just a tiny little thing, but it's right next to the Boise River. So we'll fly up over the Boise River, and we'll just take a little flight and look around. You know, it's May 26th today, so the trees are really greened up and things are looking good. So it just was a nice, pleasant time to fly, and I just happened to see this little park on the map, so I just had to come here to fly. So give me just a second and we'll get this little bird in the air. Okay, the drone is telling me it needs a compass calibration, so we're going to do that real quick. Okay, we had a calibration success. Let me go ahead and start a screen recording here. Okay, yeah, and it is telling us we're in Class C airspace. Now, I have never gone through the approval process here. It is saying takeoff permitted, so it's not even disallowing me to take off, but it must know that we're close enough to the edge. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and take off. We're in 4K 30 frames per second in auto, so we're going to go ahead and start recording right now, and we're going to just go ahead and hit takeoff on the app. So let me get out of the way so you can see it. Well, let's just wait. Are you going that way? Well, I'm just getting ready to take off here. Oh, you're good. I didn't know which side you were going. No, that's all right. I wasn't sure if this was camera facing this way. Yeah, no, that's good. That's cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. No, it's okay. Okay, let's go ahead and take off now. I'm going to hit takeoff on the app. So there's that little bird. Man, oh man, is this thing, it's steady Eddie, isn't it? So we're going to bring it up in here, and we're not going to be able to do our usual droney like we did. I do see the drone kind of bumping a little bit like we've seen it do in the past, and that tends to calm down after a little bit. Let's bring it into the camera here, and now that's stopped. So I'm going to rock it back and forth here, so you can see that little gimbal in action, back and forth. Basically what we're going to have to do here, we're surrounded by trees, so we're going to have to go straight up. I'm going to drop the gimbal down just a little bit, and we're going to go straight up, and we're going to go out over the river. So straight up now. And as you can see, we have the beautiful sight of the jalopy jungle behind us there. But watch what I turn the other way. So we're going to begin yawing around here. And there you'll see the Boise River come into view, and the walking path in front of it. And we got some trees right in front of us, so we're going to go ahead and kick it up just a little bit here. So we're going to kick it up a little higher. And here we go. So there's the river. You can see the river right there. Let's go ahead and go over the river. And I am going to yaw to the right, and we're going to stay within our zone that we got Lance approval for. But going this direction, we would go in further into our Lance approval area. But boy, isn't it beautiful? This is the Boise River, and yeah, so it's telling us we're actually out of the Class C airspace, and we're in Class E airspace. So that's the river right there. I mean, a river runs through it. This is Garden City, Idaho, which is just a little town that's kind of right next to Boise, right on the Boise River. And they call it Garden City because it used to be, when Boise first started, obviously there were a lot of gardens here. This was settled by Chinese, and there were a lot of Chinese gardens that they grew produce, etc. And that's how this little town got its name. And it's kind of one of those towns yeah, so now we're back in classy airspace, but we did get approval to fly here, so we're good. And we're not going to go very far here, but I just wanted to show you this part of the river. And when we turn around here, you'll get to see the little park that I'm at. So it's pretty darn cool. So I'm going to go to the drone's left here, and we're going to see if we can do a nice slow yaw. And we'll bring this guy around. And there's the Boise front, the Boise Mountains off in the distance there. As you can see, we're a lot closer to downtown Boise, and that lake, I believe, is called Silver Lake, and I think it's artificial. I'm pretty sure it's artificial. And there again, here is more of the Boise River. We've kind of got the sun behind us now, and boy, it's really just a nice day to fly because you gotta appreciate the clouds. And so we'll move forward here, and we're just in normal mode. So this is just on a little voyage of discovery. Like I said, I've not flown here before, and when we come back, you'll get to see the little park that I'm in, and it's just a cute little park called Mystic Cove is the name of the park. Yeah, now we're back in classy airspace. And classy airspace here is kind of interesting. If you looked on a sectional chart, it would say from surface, but because it is not segregated, no authorization is required in this part of the airspace. That's one of those questions or something on the Part 107 test that could throw you. And in fact, when I first saw it on the sectional chart, I was a little bit confused, and the folks at Remote Pilot 101 had to explain to me how that worked. And in fact, the FAA even has a PowerPoint, a slide presentation that explains it. And they sent me that presentation. It's kind of interesting. It's it's the kind of thing that you have to kind of know those little intricacies. And here we are. Yeah, we're about as far as we want to go, and I'm getting some signal interference as well. So we're going to turn around, and I got a little bit of jerkiness on FPV there. Cool thing about staying over the river is you know that you're not anywhere near, you're not worried about flying over people or automobiles or anything. So we've got kind of a cool place here with which to do that. And I see that I don't have grid lines on my FPV interface here, which I always like. It helps to frame the shot, so I'm going to have to fix that, but not right this second. And you're seeing some activity behind, hearing some activity. That is, of course, that jalopy jungle that you see right there. So yeah, I'm just continuing down the river here and just kind of giving you another shot. We'll go a little further the other direction here. Like I said, we do have approval, even though that part of this is in Class C airspace. We've got LANC approval to do it, and we're at 99 meters. So that's, I don't know, what's that? That's rough. That's a little over 300 feet, and we have clearance up to 400 feet. So and there again, it's giving us that warning about being in Class C airspace. Interestingly enough, I kind of expected I would have to get approval even to take off with the little Mini, and I didn't. DJI didn't ask me to do that. And I got to tell you, there's so much Class G airspace where I typically fly. I've never flown in controlled airspace before like this where I had to get Lance approval, but man, it was very simple. It took me just a couple of minutes to do it. So yeah, don't be afraid of that. So we're not going to go too far this direction because I'm not 100% sure how far my authorization is, or just the one square that I got authorization to fly in. And so this is the Willow Lane Sports Complex, and I know we're clear over there, so let's we can fly over there. What this is the city of Boise has softball leagues, right? So they have all these softball fields here set up for softball tournaments, etc. And this is quite a facility. I've walked around down there before, and I'm not a softball player myself, but you can imagine that parking lot fills up when they get a tournament going here. So, okay, we are not going to go much further that direction. We are going to turn around and head back towards us. And the Boise greenbelt runs along the river, both sides of the river here, and it's just a phenomenal. You can hike for 20 miles along the side of the river if you want, or bike, either one, and a lot of people do. And I had a little bit of FPV stuttering there. But we'll bring this guy back to us. We've got an aircraft above us, but he is way up there. And we'll bring it on back. Let me pick that camera back up. We're going to slide over to the right a little bit. And yeah, so let's bring it over the top of the little park here so that you can see it. And we're down to 59% battery, so I'm saying it's a little too soon to get this flight over with, but I want to bring you over the top of this park that we're at here. So you see that little triangle of land right there, and I'm standing right under a tree there. I'm in the shade of that tree next to the little table there. What a cute little park, huh? Let me back it up just a little bit so you can get another look at it. I just think that's awesome. And we've got another aircraft. I want to make sure I get my eyes on him. Yeah, he's way up there. Okay, so I'm going to kick the camera back up. And like I said, we're still over 50% battery, so maybe we can get out here and look at the lake a little bit. Let's kind of cross over the river. And we're very quickly back into Class E airspace here. That aircraft you hear is way to the east of us and way higher than we are. So there we are in Class E airspace. Let's grab some altitude and stay well above the trees. Let's see if I can kind of get over there above the lake without. Yeah, we can go right here. So if I've got this wrong, I will put it in a little text box, but I believe this is called Silver Lake. And look at these houses all around it, huh? And I'm quite sure that this has got to be artificial, and we're getting a little bit of signal interference, and that's about as far as we can go and still have the drone in sight. So we're going to stop right there. But let's circle back around the other way. And I'm getting a little little bit of stuttering on FPV. Like I said, we're shooting over the top of these trees. So, tell you what, let's just go ahead and hit a return to home, and let's just see what this guy can do. We're definitely high enough that we're well above all the trees, etc. And it should be coming back to us. And we got a little bit of signal loss there. And it's coming back. It's interesting as we turn the drone around. Yeah, and there we had a little signal loss again. Depending on where the antenna are in the aircraft, a lot of times you can have good signal going out, and then as soon as you turn around, you can lose signal. Now this is OcuSync 2, so it's kind of unusual, but we are shooting through some trees here. But it's on its way, it's on a direct path right to us. And you can see we're getting signal back here, so we're good to go. Boy, the river is beautiful, isn't it? And they're putting a little bit more water down it, but not as much as you might think. Now, this drone does not have precision landing, so once we get it down here, what we'll do, and we're back in Class C airspace, you can see there, we will we'll likely cancel that return to home and land it manually. And there it kicked the gimbal back up, and it should be starting to descend here. Maybe. Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's coming down. It just adjusted itself a little bit. Okay, and I brought that gimbal back down to 90 degrees, so we can see 90 degrees down, so we can see right where it comes down. Looks pretty good. I mean, that landing pad looks right in the center of the screen. I'm going to step out so you can see where I'm standing here. And yeah, I'm telling you, it's coming down perfectly, and this is good. We got nobody around, which is important. A couple of bicycles going by right now. And what we'll do, yeah, it's going to be a little bit off, so we'll likely have to cancel it. So I canceled it there at the very last second. And let's bring it over. And I'm going to step out here because I want to see right where the drone is. And that should be good. Let's land. And yeah, it's going to be really close. Look at that. Right in the middle of the H. Now, you saw me walk over there to look at where the drone was at, and the reason I do that is I don't have really good depth perception, so that way I could see right where the drone was at. So yeah, let's stop recording, and we landed with 33% battery. Let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the DJI Mini 2, you know, this thing is just a phenomenal little drone. We were out here on the Boise River in Garden City, Idaho, in Mystic Cove Park, tiny little park, and we took it out over the Boise River. I hope you enjoyed this. You saw a little bit different part of Boise than I usually show, and lot closer into Boise than I normally film, normally fly drones and record and so forth. But you know, we saw some pretty cool stuff, so I hope you enjoyed it. The little Mini 2, I'm just telling you, this guy is still king of the minis. You know, I know that we've got the new Hubsan drone coming out soon, the Hubsan Mini, etc. But for now, this guy's still the king. Yeah, well, that FEMI Mini does a few things. It's the camera in it, and you know, some of the issues with that drone is still not up to par with this guy. But not that it's not a good drone. I do like that drone, but all I'm saying is the DJI Mini 2 is still king of the minis. Okay, this is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. But most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video today. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. And I want you to stay tuned for a little bit of bonus content here. I'm going to show you around Mystic Cove Park and a little bit of the greenbelt. Okay, here's the bonus content. So to get to this park, it's just at the end of a city street. And literally, I'm in my wife's little red Nissan there. And so you gotta park just kind of at the end of this street. So there's no actual parking lot for it, but you'll see why when you see how small the park is. A couple of warning signs there. It appears to me they're okay with drones, so that's always good. And the ubiquitous rental scooters available here. Spin, I'm not sure I've heard of that one, but the orange scooters. Hey, let's see what they say here. They say they'll give you a free ride. Enjoy a ride if you enter that free 5. Huh, cool. Well, maybe. You never know. So let's just walk the trail onto the park, and that's right on the Garden City section of the greenbelt along the Boise River. And there you can see kind of hopefully you can see into the jalopy jungle over there. But anyway, Mystic Cove Park. What a cool name for a little park. And it says right there, nestled by the river. So that makes a lot of sense. But this is it. This is just the little park. And I set my gear on top of this little table here and kind of stood underneath the shade of this tree to fly. And yeah, I mean, they got a little play area for the kids here. And I think this little thing over by the greenbelt here, yeah, it's for dog watering and people watering. So this trail that you see is the greenbelt, and we'll see if we can get down that and get a look at the Boise River. But one of the things, oh shoot, here's another scooter. This one is a white scooter. What brand is that? On Lime and Uber. So On Lime. Scooters are everywhere. Oh no, this is just I thought this was a dog watering stand. It's not. So this must just be for, well, I don't know. Is it a sculpture? Let's look. Blue bench. So it's a bench. Hey, okay, cool. I thought it was, maybe it was a fountain for drinking. But then, to show you how bicycle friendly Idaho is, they've got, you know, these are all over in all the parks in Boise, Garden City, Meridian, etc. Air pumps and everything. If you got a bicycle, there's tools there that you can repair a flat tire right by the side of the trail. I just think that's really cool, and I love that these cities have the foresight to do that. And they're telling the bicyclists to slow down. And speaking of which, and yeah, I don't know, blocking off a sinkhole here or whatever. Anyway, let's walk the other way down the path and see what we can see. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it on the GoPro, but we've got a helicopter coming, you know, fairly close to where we were just flying. But obviously he's way up there in altitude. But, you know, that's one of the reasons that you just got to keep your eyes and ears open. What's cool about choppers is they're awful loud, so you can hear them. So, yeah, it looks like they got a plaque here provided by the Garden City Urban Renewal Agency in 2006. Okay, let's go on down the path. Okay, I thought I had found a trail down to the river here, but nah, I'm sure at one time that probably was, but you can see how thick the underbrush and brambles, and of course there's little offshoots of the river going through there. So yeah, no, that's not a trail we're going down, although I suppose at one time there was probably a fisherman that did that. The other cool thing is a lot of the houses along here, they definitely decorate their backyards for the greenbelt. This is cool how they've made these flowers out of rocks here. And a lot of them, you can see they have gates so they can get directly to the greenbelt. Kind of cool. And then of course there's the inevitable. No trespassing. Oh, but cats are welcome, it says, but no trespassing. And they have some flowers. That's kind of nice. At first, it kind of put me off, but then I could see they had a sense of humor about it, so nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now here's a little bit of a trail, but we're not going to get very far. As you guys can see here, the river is high enough that we're surrounded by muck. And what's kind of cool about this is and you can see the water flow there, and I'm sure in drier times this trail goes right down to the river, but it's full of water now. But this is all in the middle of the city, so kind of cool. Lots of critters live here. I've seen deer in this part of the greenbelt, and yeah, all kinds of animals. Yeah, here's another little trail, but I don't think it's going to get us anywhere either. And yeah, I'm not going to go far down that one, but we can look down here a little bit and see what there is to see. And these are just impromptu little trails that I'm sure people have walked down for years trying to get to the riverside. And yeah, I'm not going to go any further than this. Looks like the brush just gets denser and denser here, so there's no point in getting too carried away. Well, this is as far as this trail got me, so I'll let you see the walk back out to the main path here. I'm sure when the river is lower that some of these paths will get right down to it, but they're all kind of flooded out at this point. And here we are back at the Garden City greenbelt. So I've shown you a lot of the good side. I guess if you're a homeowner here, you're also going to see a little bit of graffiti like this gentleman did. It's interesting that it's just on this property owner's fence, but in any case, all right, I guess that's about it for bonus footage. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed that drone flight, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit of bonus footage. Getting to see just a little bit of a different part of Idaho than I've shown in the past. All right, take it easy, and of course, we'll see you on the next one.